Hello, num-nums. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is a casting call for animators. And before I get into the rules and start telling you where to find stuff, first I'd like to just say a few things. So, at this moment in time, I'm going to put up a time code just in case you want to skip all of my blabbering and go to the actual casting call. So why am I casting animators and what does this mean? What's happening? Well, I'm casting animators because I've finally come to terms with the fact that I can't do this series by myself. Or at least if I do it by myself, I won't meet my series goals. And those goals are very serious to me, because TEoE is a series which I intend on making big, in both the popularity terms and literally big. TEoE is going to be a long series, and there is no way I'd be able to do all of that work by myself without cutting production quality, and I really don't want to do that because I really like production quality. I think it means a lot. I think having good production quality means a lot to a series, and it means a lot to the fans too. It tells the fans that you care about your work, and you're not just throwing it out there to get money. You actually have a connection to the series, and you believe they should have a connection because you value the series, and therefore they should value the series. Another reason that I didn't really want to bring animators into the entire project was because I was afraid that they would not be able to copy my style. They would not be able to draw the frames correctly, everything would get messed up, and the animation would just end up looking worse. And that's something I was really afraid about, so I honestly shied away from the idea of having any other animators for a long time. I also worried that if I were to put other animators on this project, then I'd have to wait until they'd send me the files of the animations before I could edit them and put them into the project. Or if they for some reason never sent me the animations, then I'd be in trouble, and then I'd have to do the animation myself, which would take more time out of the production. But now I think I've become kind of more to terms with those things, because my envisionment of TEoE now is that when I adapt it into an actual series, I'm going to have animators anyway, and the only thing I'll really be doing is the storyboard and some of the keyframes and maybe some of the animations. So it's not like it was 3 years ago. I have a completely different vision for TEoE now. One that's actually feasible. That is a word, right? I hope that's a word. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Now on to the casting call. If you're going to be animating for TEoE, you should probably have something like Clip Studio, TV Paint, or Photoshop. Some program where you can actually see the animation playing out and you won't just be in the dark about what it actually looks like. CI is fine too, but I would prefer you have a program where you can actually see the animation. When you animate for TEoE, you won't need a reference. You can use one, but I doubt it'd be very helpful. The reason that you most likely won't be using a reference is because my style changes consistently. As I grow and get better in art, my style will get better as well, and it'll keep changing. The only thing that most likely won't change is the eye styles, which I could send to you in the refs that I'll make. And because my style will be changing and there will not be a consistent reference, I'll have to ask that my animators are somewhat experienced. There needs to be at least 3 examples of animation on your channel for me to even consider you. Also, when animating for the series, you should really make sure that your lines are the same size as mine. I cannot stress this enough. If your lines are a different size than mine, then the animation will clash and it will not look right. I'm not sure what size lines they are on anyone else's program. I'm using Clip Studio Paint EX, and I use a darker pencil at 8 brush, so you'll have to figure out what size brush that is on your program. Remember, do not change any of my animations, even if they don't line up correctly. Just make the animation anyway. This is a learning experience for me, so it's fine if it's messed up. Another thing is make sure to pay attention to detail. I cannot stress this enough. Detail is very important in animations, and especially in my animations, because I add a lot of fur to my characters. Send me the file in PSD format. Please. I need the file, if you're not working in Clip Studio, I need the file in PSD format so that I can be able to open it with Clip Studio. Any other format like SAI, I won't be able to open it. Another thing, I highly encourage using the drawings that I made for reference on the size of a certain thing. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm using the fur that I drew in another layer and I'm tracing over it to get the measurements. So I highly encourage this. This can really help make the animation look better. And this is really where anatomy kind of starts to come in. So because the head is looking up, you know that the fur has to be going down a little bit. So yeah, just remember to transform it if you do that. And don't forget to test your animation. Just because you can't change my frames doesn't mean you shouldn't test the animation. If anything on your part doesn't look right, it's really likely that I'll send the animation back and tell you to fix it, and then that would waste more time on the production. So please test your animation. At this moment in time, I would like to direct you to the description where my email address is, and I will also put it up on the screen. Send me an email there and I'll send you the animation that you will be using as an audition. You will have a month to complete this animation, so take your time, test it, make sure you like it, go back, redo some things if some things are wrong, and then submit it to me back at my email when you finish it. Do not submit the animation to YouTube. Submit it to my email when you are finished. And please don't be afraid to audition. This is an open-ended casting call, meaning that there will most likely be no number of people that I'll be specifically looking for. I'll just be taking the people that I think will do the best work. And if you don't make it into this one, don't worry. I'll have other casting calls. There'll be more times where you can audition for something. There'll be other opportunities, like I've honestly been thinking of making a background artist casting call because I'd like to get some background artists in the series that can do really good backgrounds. And I also want to have a casting call for line arting because line arting takes up quite a bit of time. And yeah, so don't worry if you don't get into this one. There will be other ones. I love you, num nums, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye. Wait! I'm stupid, and I forgot to mention that you also have to agree with the animators agreement that I've typed up, which I will give to you for you to check out if you are auditioning for the role of an animator. So with that, I bid you adieu, num nums. Sayonara.